Okay, only I'm too sad to walk. Just give me a few hours. Oh!
That is joy and sadness, two emotions living inside of 11-year-old Riley in the new Disney Pixar film Inside Out. In the movie, Riley has to deal with the trauma of moving to a new city and the flood of emotions that soon follow. You'll recognize actress Phyllis Smith as Phyllis from the hit comedy The Office. She is the voice of sadness, and we're so pleased to have Phyllis join us from our downtown Toronto studio this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm very well. How are you doing?
I'm pretty happy.
You know, you have a good reason to be. This movie looks amazing, and I want to talk about playing sadness, because your character it's kind of a yin and yang thing with Amy Poehler's character, Joy. So tell me how it was working that out as an actor.
Well, you know what? I was really fortunate because I did have 3 sessions with Amy Poehler, and she is simply brilliant and lovely and was very helpful to me. And so I teasingly say that I was like her ball and chain around her ankle, you know.
You know, it's interesting because you think, okay, the character is sadness. Do you whine all the time? Are you that, character that
annoying one?
Yeah, the whining, annoying one. How do you make it more than a one-note deal?
Well, Pete Docter, the director, and I, we had a conversation kind of early on, wanting to make sure that sadness was not just a one-note character and not whiny and, that you got sick of her, a third of the way in. And he ended up tapping into my insecurities and my tentativeness, and so he was able to pull things out of my person. And so part of her is very insecure and just, not just sad and whiny. So I attribute it to Pete Docter myself.
Okay, that's pretty deep, Phyllis.
Well, has Pete been here? Have you interviewed Pete before?
Not yet, but my goodness, he sounds, part co-director and co-writer and part psychotherapist.
He is everything. Yes, he got this idea from his daughter, Ellie. When Ellie used to be a happy-go-lucky child, and then around age 11, she started getting kind of somber and moody, and he said, well, I wonder what's going on with her. And so it was kind of the impotence for the movie, and then now Ellie's 16, and the movie's, 5 years after he got that idea, the movie's completed. So I think he's pretty brilliant, is what the term should be, brilliant.
So the film screened at Cannes. Tell me what that was like.
Amazing, amazing. We had, after the movie was over, we had a 10-minute standing ovation in Cannes.
Wow.
And it was just, we didn't know what to do. The first couple of minutes we're going, oh, thank you, thank you. And then we waved, and then it was really very humbling that they had such a response. And afterwards, I asked somebody in the press department, I said, is that a typical reaction? They said, absolutely not. So we were very, very happy for that reaction.
Tell us how you got the role. How did it come about?
By God's grace. Pete Jonas Rivera, who's the executive producer, he was watching a movie that I did called Bad Teacher with Cameron Diaz. And it was kind of early on in the movie. There's a lunch scene. And Jonas said that he was up late and he decided to flip the movie on. And he saw that scene and picked up the phone and called Pete and said, I think I found our sadness. So, and then they gave me a call, and I said yes without a hesitation. So,
okay, your work life has been most interesting, because we need to talk about The Office and how I'm just listening to how you got this role. We need to talk about The Office and how you got that role, because you were actually helping with the casting, right?
Absolutely, yeah. We were. I'd been in casting like 19 years, and we were part of the process of The Office, where we were trying to pair up the the characters to see what kind of chemistry they had together, and mostly the Pam, the Jim, and the Dwights. And it was the second day, and I was walking through and trying to make sure everybody had their coffee and ready to start the session. And part of my job was to read with actors, but at this point, I thought I was in the background with that because we were actually having the Pam and Jims read together. And the director said to me, I'd like for you to read the character of Pam today. And I said, oh, okay, rather confused, clueless and rather confused. And about 2 weeks later, I found out that he was actually auditioning me. And I had been in casting long enough to know that when wardrobe calls, that constitutes a work call. And wardrobe called me and said, I understand you're playing the character of Phyllis. And I said, yes, I am. And so that was how my office life started.
Yeah, and the rest is history. It's just amazing. So we were digging a little deeper, and I thought, okay, was she really a dancer and cheerleader?
Yeah.
You were, and you're also, look at you, holy smokes, a burlesque performer as well?
Well, oh, where did you get that one?
Oh, we have ways, Phyllis.
Oh, my.
We have ways. We dig up photos from everywhere.
That was in a past life, it looks like. No, I started dancing when I was 7, and that's what I wanted to be, was a professional dancer. And I danced till I was in my late 30s professionally. Then found it was just too hard to compete with all those little 19, 20-year-olds, and ended up in casting. So, my life has not been, not the normal route, but it's been very rewarding and blessed and interesting. So.
But that's the best kind of life, don't you find?
Absolutely.
Yeah, anti the normal route. Do you believe in fate, or is it just being prepared for the situations that come your way?
I think it's both. I once had a teacher who told me, a singing teacher, unfortunately I can't sing, but she was a great teacher. It wasn't her fault. She said to make sure that you are absolutely prepared, because the worst thing that can happen is if you get the opportunity and that you haven't done your homework and you haven't worked and you're not prepared. That's really sad. Not to, and I also believe that in my instance, God had a better plan for me than I ever anticipated for myself. Like I worked and was, at times I did 2 and 3 jobs just to pay bills. So things have not come easy to me, but the big moments in my life, like The Office and this movie, have been rather unexpected and wonderful.
Well,
So.
I am so happy to have had the
Thank
chance
you.
to chat with you today. Thank you so much, and all the
My
best
pleasure.
to you.
Thank you so much.
Bye,
Appreciate
Phyllis.
it. Okay, bye-bye.